Hey guys, so today is February 12th and I went to Home Depot this morning, picked up a few things. Today is the day I'm actually going to start working on redoing that end of the shed so that we can turn this camera around. And what you see behind me is what you typically see. I don't have the camera on the tripod, it's just sitting on the table over there, which is why it's like a different angle. The tripod's right here. Yeah, today's the day it all starts. So let me just show you guys what the plan is. So this is what you guys don't see. This is what's behind the camera, and I mean it's a lot. You know, there's a lot of whiskey down here and right here on this table, and what the main goal is to try and clear this table off of a lot of the whiskey. So I talked about it before, we're going to put shelving down there, we're going to put a TV on that wall and shelving on that wall. So that's what I'm going to start right now. And the first thing that needs to happen is all of that whiskey needs to be moved. So we're gonna move the whiskey out here to this outside room. It's kind of a little storage room right now, but hopefully eventually we'll get this room out here cleaned up a little bit so we can start shooting out here, because there's honestly a lot more room out here, and it's, you know, it's just kind of nice out here. This is a much smaller room. Whenever Gio and I are in here recording, it's always like we're like tripping over each other when we're trying to move around. So first step is getting all of this whiskey off this table and out there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. All right, so the table has been cleared. The little box shelves on the top have been cleared. But we still want to take those down because I am going to end up putting the TV on the wall and some just different shelving. So next step is going to be to take all of this stuff down. So that's what's next. This one is up here kind of weird. This thing is like bolted in the back and I cannot find a screw that fits it, or a screwdriver bit that fits it. So I'm just going to try and take off the whole thing, supports and all.
Day 2. Day 3. Day 4.
Finally got this one down. This is the TV that's going to go on the wall, and I'm going to try and put it like right on the center of the wall, maybe a little bit above center. So it's level according to the level, but like I said, this shed isn't level, so take that with a grain of salt. It's level with the ground, but is it level with the building? Who knows? All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is put the shelf in here. Now, this shelf that the balcones bottles are sitting on is literally just placed in there, and it's kind of low. So you can kind of see right in here that there's nothing actually underneath this shelf. The only purpose this shelf serves is to just kind of lift these up a little bit. So it doesn't actually give us more room down there. So we're gonna take all of these out, take out that shelf that's just sitting in there, and then we're gonna cut a shelf to place probably about 15 inches up or so that we can get everything we want in there. So that's what's next. So this is what I had sitting in that cubby to hold up those balcones bottles in the back. It just literally just came right out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna repurpose this to act as sort of the shelf bracket for the wood that we just cut. So I'm gonna go cut this into thinner strips. Yeah, so cutting those things was a mess. The battery and the saw ran out, but I was able to go ahead and get the kind of shelf bracket up down there. So that's where this board is going to sit right there. So we're gonna go ahead and just put it in place and see how it looks. All right, so it's not bad. These lips come out a little bit far, but honestly, I'm not mad about that. This is about just organizing right now, not about really making it look great. So as long as it's just like this, I mean, I'm okay with it. And what I may actually do, instead of screwing this down, because this is sitting here pretty flat, instead of actually screwing this board down, I may just see if I can put something here and here to kind of like hold it in place, just so it doesn't come out like this. It's pretty tight, so I don't know if it will anyway, but I may just put something here and here to do that, so that this board can come in and out as need be, because eventually I'd like to paint and stain these, so obviously it'll be a lot easier to get these out if it's not actually nailed down. So alright, so I went ahead and filled up this little cubby down here with whiskey. Well, almost filled it up. I left some room there. I was trying to think, what else can I put there? But then I was like, you know what, if I get more whiskey, it's good to leave some room. So what this cubby is all North American whiskey, not made in Kentucky. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this one now. I have the shelf cut already. I just need to cut the little brackets, and that doesn't take long. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. All right, so now this shelf is up just like that one. So what we're gonna do now is just clean out all this little mess here, sawdust and all that, and then we'll go ahead and fill this back up. So yeah. All right, so down here I ended up putting the rest of the non-whiskey stuff. And then I've got the whiskey adjacent things up here, like the flavored whiskeys. And then down here I've got Irish whiskeys. And then right here I have blended scotches. Anyway, this is gonna be it for today. That's all I'm gonna do for today. Just got the TV up and the shelves down there. Here, probably in a few days, I'll come back and do the rest. So see you in a few days. Hey guys, so today is February 26th, and we're gonna see, or I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and finish this up. I kind of got off to a late start today. It's almost actually 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but I kind of know what I want to do. So first thing I'm going to do today is figure out what all I need to saw for this shelf here, and then get started on that. Let me show you what's outside, or outside this little room. So right here I have a 6 foot by 10 inch board that I'm just gonna cut a little bit off, and that's gonna go across the top of the TV that's in the other room. Because the wall space is actually less than 6 feet long in total, so this will work out just fine. And then I have this one here, which is an 8 foot long board, also by 10 inches wide. I'm gonna cut this into 4 2-feet sections, and I'm gonna put 2 on either side of the TV. So on either side of the TV is gonna be 2 shelves that are, it's actually gonna be about 20 inches, not 2 feet. But like 1 here, and then same on the other side. This small board right here, which is 6 feet by 4 inches wide, I'm gonna cut it into 1 inch strips. So I'm gonna kind of strip that board, and it's going to go basically across here, and the shelves that I set are gonna rest on that. I also bought a few of these, just basic shelf brackets. So these are gonna help to support the shelves that are up here. But kind of like we did down here, I'm gonna have a bracket that goes across all the way to the bottom, and then these on either side of the wall up here. That's the first thing we're gonna do, is try and get the little inch long strip brackets cut up, measured to the right length, and get those going. So that is the first task for right now.
What follows is a brief construction montage. We hope you enjoyed this brief construction montage.
All right, so I cut this board to be 67.5 inches long because my plan was to have it go all the way across the top of the TV there. But now I'm actually wondering if I want this to go all the way across. So I'm thinking I might want there to be some room on either side, just so that for the shelf that goes here, I might be able to put some taller bottles, maybe on the, like on this side of the shelves. So I may have that top shelf not actually go all the way across, just for those purposes. All right, so I've got these two 20-inch shelves, 21-inch shelves. So if I put one right here and then another here, there's not much room on either of these shelves for much of anything. So I think I am going to end up cutting off a side of this. Yeah, because there's just not much wall space to work with. And I know it makes sense just to have this shelf and not even have the other one. But I do want to have it because I do have some shorter bottles that if I put a shelf right here, the shorter bottles will fit under there. So there's room for stuff there, some like medium-sized bottles there, and then I can put this here. Again, put some shorter bottles, even some glasses on the inside of the shelf. And then if I cut off the end of this one, I can put some taller bottles on the side closest to the wall. So I think I am going to end up cutting this one a little bit just so that it doesn't go all the way across. And I think that'll help out a lot. Yeah, we're gonna take off a foot on each side. So I'm just gonna take this board. I haven't nailed it down yet, so we're just gonna take this board and chop off 2 feet and see how it looks once we put it back on there. So I'll be back.
A few moments later.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a lot better. I'll measure it, beforehand to make sure it's centered in the wall, but that's gonna be a lot better. So we've got these 2 little screws in, this one and this one, that just kind of like slot into these metal shelf brackets. So we're gonna see if we put them in correctly and if it'll lock into place. And perfect. Perfect, they all fit. So this part of the wall right here actually slants forward. So there's probably a good 3 or 4 inches between the back of these boxes, and the wall. So we're not getting full use of the 10 inches here, but I mean, for what we need it for, it works out. So I'm gonna take these down while I do the rest of the shelves, but then they'll go back up here. But it's good to know that they fit up there. All right, so next we're gonna put this shelf up. I've got this bracket here and this side mount here on the wall. So we're gonna go ahead and screw that in. All right, so this shelf is in place. So I have it like this so that I can put like a tall bottle here. So check this out. I have a lot of these tall like Scotch bottles that will go pretty well here. So I think that's gonna be a good spot for those. And then here in this little space, I can put either glassware or I can put these little shorter bottles like these minis that don't take up too much space. Is there room? Oh yeah, look, there's even room for some of this shorter little kits. So I can use this little space right here pretty well too. All right, now we're gonna put the last shelf over here, and I'm gonna have it so that it basically just comes to right above this outlet right here. I don't know if you can see the outlet. So we're gonna go ahead and put this first, like right here, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the other shelf bracket like this right here. So here we go. All right, so this side is done for now. Basically what I'm gonna do now is come over to this side and have this side mirror that side as far as the shelves go. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. All right guys, it is done. Phase 1 is done. We got the shelves down there, and then we got the shelves up here. Phase 1.5 is going to be putting shelves like there on the side, like coming kind of extensions of those 2 smaller shelves that are on either side of the TV. Phase 2 is going to be actually making it look pretty, doing something about this wire, maybe staining the shelves, maybe putting something on this wall back here so it just doesn't look like particle board. Just making it look pretty, but for now, we are just going to go ahead and put all of this over here and see how it looks. All right, guys, the room is kind of complete. Phase 1 is complete. We might do phase 1.5 here soon, which is just adding a couple more shelves here and here, and then over here on the other side of the wall as well. But for now, we're gonna leave it as the way it is. Yeah, this is the first time I'd ever done something like this myself, just kind of from scratch. The only thing that I didn't make were the little shelf brackets that we use. Everything else, I just bought the lumber, cut it into the size I wanted, and just did it that way. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I think it looks nice. And like I said, we'll get a couple more shelves to put out right here, and then on the other side as well. Because while we have enough room for the whiskey that we have, barely, there's not really much room for additional new whiskeys. And I do have some whiskey over at the house, so if I ever decide to bring that out here, it's almost full. So we do want to get some additional shelves in here for the glassware too, so that we can have a place to put our glasses, the Glencairns, and the other glasses that we use out here. So there's a little bit more work to do as far as the shelving, but once that's done, we're gonna stay like that for a while, and then eventually we'll make it look a little nicer, maybe stain those shelves a little bit, put something on the back wall so that it just doesn't look like that press board. Although I don't really have an issue with how that press board looks, but we might do something just to kind of make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. I'll maybe put some lights in there, I don't know. It's gonna be nice to have this as our set from now on for Drinks and Chill. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.